we're going to be splitting rows based on a condition, and we're going to be using the conditional split component and data in our data flow. So let's go ahead and begin our project. The table that we're going to be depositing our rows into that are unique is the cars table. And as you can see, it's blank. We have no records in this table. So let's go back into integration. Let's begin our project. And basically, you could have a multitude of conditions that you set up to have your rows split amongst in terms of your output. But we're just going to be doing duplicates. We want to have only unique rows from our source, which is going to be a text file, go into our table. And I could just really quickly just grab our source and show you. It's a text file called cars as well, same as the table. Cars right here, and it's saved to the desktop. This is what it entails. These are all of our rows. All right, let's get out of here. All right, let's begin by grabbing our data flow task. In just a second. All right, let's go inside the data flow. Let's go grab the text file that I just showed. It's a flat file source. And we're gonna set up our connection manager and our component. All right, let's set up our connection manager. And we saved it to the desktop, so we're not doing a lot of looking around. Let's browse the file. And it's on our desktop, and it's just called cars. All right. Okay, let's. And one thing is, one of our columns, um, particularly the model column, and our from our source, it's of string data type. In our table, the same column model is Unicode. So we have to go ahead and convert this over to Unicode as well, just to get ahead of it before we get to the point where we're trying to deposit our unique rows. So right here, model, we want to convert the data type to Unistring so that it is compatible with our destination. So let's just do that right here. And also color. In our destination, our color column is string as well, but the output is I mean I'm sorry, the length is 10 in our destination. So just to match it up, we just do 10 here and we should be good. But this would give us a warning if we didn't make the proper configuration. So let's preview real quick. Everything looks good and we're good to go. Now, the next step, what we want to do is to be able to tell which roles are or grouping is distinct. We will need an aggregate element. So let's grab that. Let's connect to our aggregate from our source. And what we're basically going to do is we're going to group by all three categories: model, price, color. We're going to group by those three categories, and we want to count. Uh, we want to count for each grouping. Okay. And let's just go back to our file, our our source. the cars table. What we're looking for, we're not just looking for unique in terms of the model column or the price column and the model column. We want unique based on model, price, and color. So we could have repeats in our model, we could have repeats in our model and price, but we don't want any repeats for our model, price, and color group together. So that's basically what we're doing in the aggregate element. Okay. Oh, and also let's go ahead and title it because count all. Let's total count. Total count. So we're going to title this column total count. So it's going to tell us how many occurrences are for each grouping based on model, price, and color. So total count. Now let's grab our conditional split. And basically what it does is it splits your output based on a condition. All right, and in this case, our condition is going to be um, duplicates. So right here, duplicates. We're going to title this output duplicates. And how we determine their duplicates based on our total count column being greater than 1. So total count greater, sorry, greater than 1. So anything that appears in our total count column over 1 is a duplicate. And we want it to go to the duplicate output. And we're going to have an error here. Reason being, you have a comparison operator. And when you're using a comparison operator, you want both sides of the both operands to be of the same data type. So for instance, the one right here is of DT underscore UI8. So it's big integer. And this one is DT underscore I4. So this one's just integer. So we want to convert this to be the same, our column to be the same as what it's comparing against, which is of big integer data type. So let's go into typecast and let's grab this right here, DT I8, which is big integer. So on both sides of our operator, we have the same data type. So it will be able to evaluate it now. Okay, so anything over 1 is going to our duplicates, and our default is anything that is of 1. So we're going to call this our unique. All right, this is going to be our the output coming from this is going to be our unique rows. So okay, all right, and we just want to see the duplicates. We don't really want to do anything with them, so we're gonna connect that the duplicates to a multicast duplicates, so that output is going to a multicast, and we're going to enable a data viewer so we can see our duplicates. Enable data viewer. And for our unique rows, we want them to go to our destination, which is the cars table. So we're going to select OLADB destination. Okay. All right, this is our cars. These are our duplicates. And it's always a good idea if you can just to annotate what you're doing. You could also do it right here by right clicking, add annotation, so that the next person that comes after you knows what your package is about. All right, let's grab our connection, which is EventSource 2012. Let's grab our cars table. There we go. And let's configure our mappings. As you can see, this destination right here for the model column is unique code. That's why earlier I changed this one from our input source to Unicode to be able to match and be compatible. And this one right here, our color column, it's of string data type, so the same data type as the source. But as you can see here, the let me just hover over it one more time. All right, there it is. All right, the length is 10, and over here the length was 50, and I converted it to 10. So we always want to make sure our source is compatible with our destination by the time we get there. Now, we already have everything mapped over correctly. So let's just click OK. Let's see. Truncation may occur. So don't worry about that. There's no truncation that will occur because everything is properly configured, but you may still get the warning. So it is what it is. Now, let's go ahead and run this package where we're going to have, based on the condition of duplicates, the duplicates will go towards one data flow path, and the unique rows will go towards our table and be deposited in our table destination. So let's just run this package. Oh, I forgot to I forgot to enable data viewer for this. I wanted to enable it, but we'll see it in the table, so it doesn't matter. Okay, I enabled data viewer just for our duplicates, so we're able to see our duplicates. However, I didn't enable the data viewer for our unique, which I should have. But we could also see the end result, our unique, in our table. So let's just execute, and we have 4 rows in our table. So we had 4 unique. Let's truncate this table real quick. Truncate table EBO dot cars. All right, let's clear this table out because I really want to show the the data viewer. Select all from. Okay, we cleared out the table. All right, it's clear again. So we're just gonna run the pack. This time I want to show you in the data viewer the unique rows. So let's enable data viewer. And let's also enable it right here to where we have our aggregation. Enable data viewer. So the first one we're going to see is the aggregation. Okay. Our total count, the column that we created to give us the count of the unique occurrences, or not unique, just total count of our grouping, our model price, and color grouping. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4. So these are the 4 rows that were inserted into our table because they were unique, and everything else too. So that means they're not unique. Okay, let's continue. All right, let's continue. This this is our distinct, and we just flew past our we just flew past our. Okay, there it is right there, and this is our duplicates. These are our duplicates. Sorry. Okay. As you can see, we had 4 unique, which were the inserts, and 8 duplicates. And let's go back into our table. Select all, dbo.cars. And as you can see, we have 4 rows inserted. And that is how you use the conditional split in integration services. Thank you for watching this video.